Colorado spends another day blanketed by unhealthy air as the UN issues a grim report on climate change around the world.
Wildfires wiped out neighborhoods in Colorado last year, and then the insurance companies got involved. An attorney says better prepare for the worst now.
And a man accused of killing his wife is in court this week as investigators lay out evidence trying to decide if there's enough to go to trial.
Wildfires worsened by climate change are now the reality in Colorado, so homeowners are smart to prepare.
An attorney whose community was impacted by the East Troublesome Fire is asking people to take a better look at their insurance policy, a process she told 9 News reporter Katie Eastman that can be pretty painful.
October 21st is a day people in Grand County will never forget.
Flames from that day are still etched in Natasha O'Flaherty's mind.
First help friends.
She can't forget what her friends and clients are forced to remember.
It's hard to recall what you had when all you're looking at is a pile of ash.
Nearly 10 months after the East Troublesome Fire, the Granby attorney is still helping people who lost everything sort through their insurance claims.
No joke, this morning, a carrier called and wanted my client to identify how old the food was in the refrigerator. No joke.
Some insurance carriers require an inventory of everything in the home when it was destroyed.
So this is the spreadsheet that the insurance company asked us to put together to account for all of our items.
We brought you this story of Courtney and Todd Walsh back in May as they battled with their insurance company over the value of every item that was in their home when the Calwood fire burned it down.
So the rationale for the price on the great-grandmother rocking chair makes me want to put up my middle finger.
My advice would be to set yourself up for success long before the fire happens.
In Colorado, it's not a matter of if someone's home will burn again, but when. O'Flaherty says take pictures of everything in your home now.
If you don't have a minimum of 400 photos up on the cloud, you're not going to have an easy time getting your claim paid.
O'Flaherty also recommends storing blueprints of your home in the cloud because even ones stored in fireproof vaults were turned to ashes. Most importantly, she wants homeowners to know their rights and their policy.
It is not exciting bedtime reading, but I absolutely think everyone should read their policy.
This advice won't help the people who lost their homes last year, but it might help someone who doesn't know they need it yet.
And O'Flaherty wants people to specifically take a look at your policy coverage and find out if it would cover the cost to rebuild your home based on local building costs. You should also find out if other structures on your property are covered, like sheds or garages. We will have her entire list of what to look for in our story on 9news.com.
Katie, I imagine some people might put off this process because they don't want to think about losing their home in the same way that people don't write a will because they don't want to think about dying.
Of course, and every single person that this attorney talked to, friends, community members, said, I just wish I had taken a closer look at this.
All right, Katie Eastman, thank you.
It looked and felt mostly overcast all day. The sun is shining here. It's just hard to see through all that smoke and pollution hanging over Colorado. Only a city in Mongolia had worse air quality than Denver today. Denver's air quality index was between 120 and 140 today. That is 4 times the exposure level recommended by the World Health Organization. Kathy will tell us when things improve, and we'll take a look at a new UN report that called climate change a code red for humanity coming up. Denver had another violent weekend. 7 shootings hurt 14 people. Today, Denver Police Chief Paul Pazin spoke with some city council members about his department's plan to focus on crime hotspots. The department is seeing progress in some areas while others are getting worse. Maps showing the crime hotspots last year identified 5 areas. They make up less than 2% of the city's land, but more than a quarter of all murders and half of the city's shootings. The latest map shows improvements around Northeast Park Hill and Montbello, while Lodo and the ballpark area are seeing more crime this year. Chief Pazin says some of the problems are drug-related, others involve gangs.
Some of the strategies that are effective in certain areas are different in the other hotspots. Some of the needs are different.
Chief Payson says some of the biggest problems involve illegal guns, either guns that were stolen or felons with firearms. He's asking for the community's help to report gun crimes. You'll likely start seeing more billboards and signs on public transportation asking people to call a tip line if they see something.
Tomorrow, the preliminary hearing continues in the case of a man accused of killing his missing wife. Suzanne Morphy was last seen in Chaffee County in May 2020. Today in court, new revelations about an affair and a struggling marriage. Here's 9 News reporter Mark Salinger.
Investigators revealed on the stand today that Suzanne Morphy had a 2-year-long affair leading up to the time that she went missing. They say that she spied on her husband Barry using a spy pen, thinking that he too was having an affair. Investigators do not believe that he was cheating. Testimony in court today painted a picture of a marriage filled with deceit and mistrust. Investigators say Suzanne and a Michigan man they call her lover would talk nearly every day. They would talk about getting married and even going out to live in Ecuador. Investigators believe her husband Barry was unaware of the affair. The judge was also shown text messages today between Suzanne and a friend. In those, Suzanne details a struggling marriage where she talks about feeling unsafe and contemplates getting a restraining order against Barry. Barry maintains his innocence, even as he faces first-degree murder charges. Suzanne's body is still missing, more than a year after she first disappeared. Investigators say they've spent thousands upon thousands of hours searching for her, with little information found. They said they have not found any blood or human remains through all the searches. Barry Morphew sat in court today wearing a suit and cowboy boots, though cameras were not allowed inside. This video is from a previous hearing, when a camera was allowed. He made gestures today to his daughters and family sitting in the back of the courtroom, including dropping his mask and mouthing, "I love you." We still don't know the answer to the biggest question in this case, and that's what evidence investigators have that tie Barry to his wife's death. We're hoping to learn more information about that in tomorrow's preliminary hearing. In Salida, I'm Mark Salinger, 9 News.
Colorado's governor is asking the feds for help to reopen and repair I-70 through Glenwood Canyon. Democratic Governor Jared Polis wants $116 million from the Federal Highway Administration to rebuild the highway and work on alternate routes. Good weather this weekend helped CDOT clear more debris. They say it hauled more than 5,700 tons of debris away. They still have to clean some of the drains and wash the road. Engineers are getting a better look at that damage and what it will take to fix it.
CDOT says that I-70 should open in days rather than weeks at this point. Right now, CDOT's still directing drivers up north and around through Steamboat, but not all map apps are even showing that route as an option. 9 News reporter Kelly Rinke looks at how it's getting drivers in trouble.
Mud and rock in Glenwood Canyon isn't the only thing causing a mess on I-70. Just check out the roads around the closure.
People really are searching for any possible route they can find to get around.
Matt Enzio with CDOT wants you to take this route, up north into Steamboat Springs. Until tonight, that didn't even come up as an option for me today when I searched directions on Apple Maps. The app told me to take Cottonwood Pass Road, a detour CDOT strongly discourages. Now CDOT's recommendation is the only route that pops up.
Every single hour, there's probably at least one call for service up on Cottonwood Pass.
Eagle County Sheriff's Office is still getting calls for help, even with crews there to turn away big trucks.
An aggressive driver, speeders, a vehicle off the road. It's definitely a tough situation up there.
Amber Barrett says that's what got the driver of this semi in trouble on Sunday, stuck on a different road in the county while trying to avoid a longer detour. 21 people needed to be rescued in Garfield County on Friday after their bus also got stuck.
We cannot stress enough just to use those trusted paved alternate routes that are suggested by CDOT.
The same issue exists on Google Maps. That app says to take Independence Pass, despite CDOT discouraging it as a detour. Semis are getting turned around there too.
They're using algorithms to figure out what the algorithm thinks is the best route. One of the reasons that we don't recommend Independence Pass as an alternate route is that not every vehicle can safely use the pass.
He does recommend using cotrip.org instead of your phone to get directions and to avoid even more headaches on the road.
That was Kelly Rinke reporting. CDOT says it's going to continue having conversations with tech companies to make sure that they're aware of the state's preferred detours. Google says navigation guidance is partly based on feedback from its users, and it's working to investigate route issues related to the I-70 closure.